Welcome to the Genius Talk podcast. I'm your host Atul Raj, and our today's guest is Jonathan. Hey, how to pronounce your name?
Pesaitis.
Jonathan Pesaitis. So, Jonathan, tell our listeners and people who are watching this who you are and what are you doing.
Right now I'm on a podcast, guys, but my name is Jonathan. Yeah, I'm 28 years old. I travel the world. I'm an online entrepreneur. I was born in Lithuania, raised in Ireland. I've traveled pretty much all over most of the world, and I lived in Thailand for a while. Now I'm in Vietnam. I just had surgery. That's why you see those things in the back. Plus, they make for a good prop.
Okay, so
There.
let's go back in time. Like, what happened? Why did you drop out from your master's in neuropharmacology and decided to become a business person?
Well, I was doing the neuropharmacology masters and I was already kind of interested in business a little bit. I had some startup ideas. I was trying to raise funding. And then, I looked at the college. This was during the COVID times. I looked at it and I didn't like the state of being of everything. The university professors were just, I thought they had money. I thought that they would be people that would be standing up against, the whole COVID thing, but they were actually enforcing it even more. They were telling us to wear masks, even though we're like right beside each other and stuff. And it didn't really make much sense to me why they were doing things like that. And then I realized that, they weren't making that much money. And I realized that I wasn't going to be making that much money. So I started going into online business and things like that, experimenting a little bit here and there. And then, yeah, eventually dropped out with a couple months to go because I wasn't learning enough. See, college is all about learning. So if you're not learning enough, what's the point? Right. So I just decided, the first couple of semesters were fine. And then the last semester was just getting worse and worse and worse and not learning anything really, just going through the motions. And I thought, why am I paying so much money if I'm not even learning? And then I went and started learning in online courses and things like that and learned way more. And then actually started making some money and dropped out. Kind of it.
Yeah, like that was the same reason I dropped out too.
You dropped out?
Yeah.
Fist bump you there, bro. What were
Yeah,
you studying?
so I was studying like commerce, like business. But none of the teacher were actually doing business, so they are just teaching theory.
Yeah. My first degree that I dropped out of a couple of degrees, my first degree that I dropped out was business as well. It's the worst. There's nothing. They're not explaining anything. They're like the 5 M's of management. Like why do I need to learn the 5 M's of management? You know what I mean? Let me just manage people. Let me figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
And then none of
Okay.
them had businesses, and some of them that had businesses before were telling us not to start businesses. And I thought that was very strange. Like one guy, he was telling us that he was balding because of the financial crisis and that his businesses went under, and then he became a lecturer. So I'm like, so you're a failed businessman, and you're trying to tell me about business?
How to fail.
Like what? Yeah, teach me how to fail, bro. Yeah, I love learning how to fail. And then the thing with business as well is you don't want anyone that's a loser teaching you. Like you just want people that are winning, people that are positive about the subject. Sometimes you have winners who will purposely tell you the wrong truth, so to speak. They'll give you misinformation. They'll tell you how hard it is. They'll tell you not to start. They'll try and like discourage you, because oftentimes when people win, they don't want you to win as well.
Yeah.
That's very common. But in general, people shouldn't listen to others that have like a negative view of business in general. Like you need positive outlook. That's how you want to learn from, right? Any subject, anything that you're interested in, you want to learn from someone who's actually interested in the topic, who will actually relay the passion back to you, And so business is not that hard. It's fun. You get to meet a lot of people. There's a lot of opportunities now as well with media, right? Like we're having a conversation here. You're doing your business, I'm doing my business, but you're getting to meet people. There's so many good things about business that it counterbalances all the stress, counterbalances all the other bullshit that you would have to deal with. So, and anyone that's a failed entrepreneur was never an entrepreneur in the first place. Because you fail a business, you start a new one. And then you go again, and you go on again, and hopefully the next one's successful. Maybe one's successful for a period of time, then it drops off, and you bounce back again, you start another one. That's what an entrepreneur is. It's someone that it's someone that wants to work for themselves and do great things in the world and try things and do commerce and things like that. I think everyone's a little bit entrepreneurial, and it's someone that will do that as a lifestyle. Whereas other people just maybe care about the money, or maybe they just want to try it. But someone who feels that they're an entrepreneur in the heart, they're going to take the risks. They're going to try new things all the time. They're not going to settle for a job, or maybe if they get a job again after they failed business, they'll build back again. It's just like a spirit thing. It's inside you.
So out of all kind of businesses, what inspired you to dive into personal branding specifically?
Yeah, so my first couple of businesses were like very difficult startups that I was not successful with initially. And then personal branding was just kind of like by chance. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was kind of learning online business. At the time, I was doing affiliate marketing for Tate, like Andrew Tate. And I became quite good at that, I guess, at least at the part of getting a lot of views for people. And, you know, we made him very popular and things like that. And then eventually I started using those services. The same thing I was doing for Tate,
Yeah, yeah.
I started offering to other people.
Can you talk about that? Like what you're doing exactly? What affiliate?
Yeah. So affiliate marketing back then for Tate was just basically he had a bunch of footage online and in his, I don't want to call it a pyramid scheme, but it was close. It was close, but it was basically you take his footage, you chop it up, and then you create accounts and you grow accounts, making him famous at the same time, but in the hopes that you sell things, memberships to his platforms, let's say you sell his courses and things like that, in the hopes of doing that. So you're growing accounts for him, you're making him more popular, and then people will create trust with the account that you built, and then you sell via that account. That's kind of what we did. And then, so it's basically marketing, right? It's personal branding, it's marketing. And then I took that, and then I went to other people. First, I started off with my Muay Thai coach in the gym in Ireland. And we, within 1 month of working together, we 3x'd his record for sales. So like that's how powerful this stuff was because nobody was doing at the time, especially in like local businesses, personal branding. You know what I mean? No one was speaking in front of the camera on Instagram really like with the captions and the music, the transitions and stuff, memes, all that. No one was doing that kind of marketing. So when we did that, they completely transformed the business for them.
So, like you guys were making a big video and then chopping it into small pieces, or you're just making shorts specifically
For the Muay Thai coach or
for the Muay Thai, Muay
for
Thai
the
coach,
Muay
yeah.
Thai coach, yeah, we would film the shorts. Yeah, so what we would do is we would write out questions and we just have, we create the questions ourselves and then we ask the coach the question. And he was very articulate on camera anyway, and he would answer the question and he had a very nice voice, a very nice appeal, a very welcoming person, you know. And I knew that if people saw him talk about Muay Thai, talking about the stuff that he does in the gym, I knew that they'd be very much drawn in. We just had to get him on the camera. He just needed some marketing. See, the best people in the world don't have marketing. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So we just asked him a couple of questions. He answered the questions. We edited the clips, made them look interesting, posted them on Facebook and Instagram, and boom.
Okay, so you travel a lot, and most of our listeners are online business owners. So, why do you think traveling is so important, and how has it impact your growth, and why you should think every entrepreneur should travel more?
Traveling is good. Yeah, traveling is very good. It teaches you a lot. The reason why to travel, I think, is to get more ideas. In general, in life, it helps to have an open mind. If your mind is expanded, you can look at problems differently. If you are just stuck in one small town, it's very difficult to see the solutions to problems. When you travel even to a different city, even to a neighboring country, even better if you travel to Asia, if you're in Europe or something like that, like it's a completely different culture shock and it opens your mind. So that's one good thing. It really, really opens your mind, gives you new ideas, makes you more creative. But also when you're traveling, especially in countries that are non-English speaking, you have to deal with a lot of things. You have to learn how to deal with visas, paperwork. You got to learn how to deal with like the foreign apps, getting people to do things for you. Dating is completely different. Like everything is so different. And so it makes you much better at survival. And for entrepreneurs, anyone that's been around the block understand that business, a lot of it, yes, is about growth, but sometimes you just got to survive. You just got to make it to the next month, the next quarter. So if you get very good at traveling, it makes it very easy to survive in any environment, because you're just going to be naturally dealing with a lot of bullshit all the time. And that's what business is. You deal with a lot of problems all the time. And nothing is new. Once you deal with a lot of problems, everything's just like whatever. You're like, I'll solve it, I'll solve it. And your confidence goes up as well. So those are the reasons. Another reason would be networking naturally. I don't like the idea of like forced networking, but you naturally meet people. You go about your day, you meet people.
By force networking.
Like some people really want to force networking where they're like, I have to network with someone, I have to get to know someone and things like that. But that's very limited. And I know that a lot of people make it into products and networking products, and some of those are good. I bought quite a few of those before, But I think networking should just come natural. Most of the time, you can kind of network anywhere. And, a lot of it is just having good social interactions and good social skills in general. And I think when it's natural, that's where the best relationships come from. If something is too forced, you're never really going to get the outcome because nature doesn't want you to have it. Nature doesn't like things that are mechanical. They don't like engineered things in advance. It likes natural things. Nature likes natural things, right? So when things are very natural, natural conversations, natural way of being yourself, talking to people naturally on the street, meeting people, going to certain events naturally and things like that, like everything's very natural, you're going to get way more benefit, way more friends. People in certain networking groups and things like that, they dress a certain way. They put on this old money style clothing. They wear these certain ties and things like that. Some networking groups, they open up all their shirt. Like there's very strange things that people do. And, to force these like networking interactions, they smoke cigars and stuff like that, even though they might not even like smoking cigars, which to me, I think that's unnatural. But if you
Yeah.
do things naturally, if you do things your way, you go about your way in life in general, the whole world just starts coming to you. So that's what I mean. You don't need to force networking. It will just naturally happen. Also, if you're very good in a field, like me, for example, I talk about marketing a lot. I give my ideas out there and things like that, and people are very interested in that naturally, and they'll just come to me. And so with my networking, I don't really need to outreach to that many people or anything like that. Like they just come to you. So if you're very good at your field, you publish things about your field, you talk about the things that you're doing your podcast. This isn't, part of your field. Like people will start coming to you eventually, and that's very natural.
Yeah, it's simple like cause and effect. We do something, creating cause, and that's the effect. People reaching out to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you practice Muay Thai. Do you think combat sports have played a role in your success and your mindset too?
Yeah, so I don't do Muay Thai anymore nearly as much. I mean, maybe I'll practice a couple of times every other month or whatever, but I don't. It's not a big thing for me anymore. In the beginning, it definitely was very helpful for a lot of different reasons, and it does help with business, at least for me. But many things help with business. It's not just like one thing, right? There's lots of people who are very successful in business that never did Muay Thai. So as a prescription, I wouldn't be like, if you want to be good at business, you have to be a fighter. It doesn't make sense, right? Bill Gates couldn't beat a grandmother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He couldn't fight a puppy. So it doesn't really matter that much. For me, at least, why Muay Thai helped was because I was able to learn a lot more about controlling my aggression. And in business, being aggressive is actually quite good. And not in the sense that you are attacking people, or not in the sense that you're yelling at people, in the sense that you are fighting for something that you want. In business and in life, there is certain things where you have to push forward, right? And in Muay Thai in particular, it's a very interesting sport because in Muay Thai, in the scoring system, you get punished for moving backwards. You can only move forward. And you can only stand and move forward. If you move back, you lose points, right? So in Muay Thai, that's what I learned as well. Is like you stand your ground, maybe you're getting hit here and there, but you still stand and then you move forward and you move forward. It's all about pushing forward. And that's how we like a lot of that can translate into business as well in your mindset because you're like, right, I just cannot move back. I have to move forward no matter what happens. So if, some employee quits and you have an important project, you move forward, you hire someone new. If something happens to a bank account, we got a bank account frozen a couple of weeks ago. You just keep moving forward. You start new payment options, and things like that. Like it's all about moving forward. And so Muay Thai was very good for that. It also helped in interpersonal relationships. My brother is my business partner. There was a lot of tension between us before. Our coach in Ireland, his name is Dave Joyce, brilliant coach. He helped us kind of understand each other. We would fight a lot, and then one time he stopped us, and he's like, you're beating the shit out of each other. It's like, there's like brothers always try and hurt the brother too much, but in reality, you should actually be helping each other a lot more. And we took that into business, started helping each other with business a lot more instead of like being against each other, arguing and bickering and things like that. So that was very useful. We had a friend as well. We call him our cousin. He was our friend. He started in business with us as well. And he was part of the Muay Thai group as well. So things like that were very useful. It also, funnily enough, in some networking scenarios, we had fights. Like we went to some networking events and there were fights there. And because I was able to just beat up a couple of people, they had a lot of respect for me. So it has some benefits like that in
Like
certain groups.
fights.
Yeah.
What happened? Fight.
Yeah, so like some networking events, some of these like masculinity groups, I guess, like they value fighting and sparring and they want to promote masculinity and they think that's one way to express it. So you have sparring sessions and you're sparring people who are worth like 10 million, 20 million and stuff and you just you're fighting each other and stuff. And yeah, I had one in Lisbon in Portugal. They're just sparring everybody there. And afterwards we went for dinner and they had a lot of respect for me, even though I was not good at business at that point because I was like an athlete. I had the ability to fight. So things like that.
Okay, awesome. So can you tell me, like, you do coaching and you also provide personal branding services? Like, what do you do?
Yeah. Um, yeah, so I provide personal branding services to people. So like we grow accounts on social media. We have over 2 billion views now. I think it's close to 3 billion. I've honestly stopped counting because it's insane at this stage. And we've generated many, many, many millions for people through the organic content and things like that. And so we do that as a service. We work with startups and founders in particular, people who are launching new products or people who just want to get their name out. They're founders, basically, people with business people, mostly. We work with some professional athletes as well, but with them, again, they have to be founders. They have to create a product, and then we get percentages of the product and things like that. So we partner up in that sense. And that's the main business model that we help people with. We do all types of things. There's graphics, there's the content, the editing, running the social media accounts, teaching them how to be on camera, all that kind of stuff. So we do all that. And then also I sell people a course on how to do that. So that I call that brand hacking, and it's everything that I've learned. It's on jonathanpesaitis.com, but it's everything that I've learned throughout the years doing it. And I've priced it quite cheap at this moment. And then, it's to teach people how to get their first 6 figures online. So first $100,000 online. So 6 modules to 6 figures. It's pretty simple. It's a good course. I'll put it that way. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, of course it's good. Like, that's why Ty Lopez hired you.
Yeah, Ty Lopez. Yeah, so Ty Lopez actually gave me ideas for the course. I was asked to help them with TikTok marketing. So Ty Lopez obviously he's a very popular person. He's been selling courses forever, and he released this course called Viral Pages. So lots of people want to grow their brands online, right? He had some very good tutors there as well. People who were like massive personal brands, 2-3 million followers. And then I was asked as well to teach TikTok marketing to my results. And so like I was able to teach his students, his employees, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, that was good. Good experience.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. Thank you.